And welcome everybody to another edition of the Sports Desk. I'm Scott Galetti along with Ed Nunez, the man to my left. Steve Davis will join us later on here in the program. And right now, as we look forward to the school season on all levels, we have Kevin Banks, the founder, CEO of Dream Big. And Kevin, it's that time of year again. We're going to be talking about previews for football, and you're basically previewing the entire school system because you get kids ready for school.
Indeed, I do. Cuts for Kids is a program specifically designed to get underprivileged and underserved youth ready for the school year by giving the free haircuts, backpacks, and school supplies. Something that's overlooked is the haircuts. It's costly for mom and dad getting those kiddos ready, and it's one thing that helps with the self-esteem for the kiddos before they go back to school.
You have so many levels of what you do with Dream Big. Where did this idea come from? Because I think this is a slam dunk.
Indeed it is. You know, a couple of us got together. This is going on our sixth year one, and you know, working with the guys, Derek Montoya and his brothers up at 3D Cuts. They wanted to give free haircuts to the kiddos before they went back to school. So we took that idea and ran with it and blew it up tenfold, if you will. And at the same time, you know, capitalizing on the fact that we have the demographic that we want to help out there, we've embraced law enforcement to come out and have that interaction with the kiddos as well.
Oh, very nice.
As well as, you know, other organizations that are throughout the community that help with that same demographic.
When you look at where you started to where you are now, how much has it grown in terms of people hearing about it and people coming out? And what's the reaction of people? Like you said, the moms out there, the dads out there that are, you know, that are less fortunate than others, maybe.
Sure.
And you look at those people. What are the reactions? I'd imagine it's almost like Santa Claus coming to town.
It really is. You know, just to see that, first and foremost, the child, the kiddos that attend, you know, we really make it festive. We'll make that stimulation overload an exciting environment for the kiddos. So seeing them when they first walk in, they don't know what to expect. As they come through those gates and they see, you know, we have a car show. So they're seeing all the cars, they see the mascots, they see the entertainment, the music going on. So there begins that comfort level for the kiddos. They're like, all right, this is kind of cool. And then to get the haircuts, the transition and that transformation from when they come in to after they get their backpack, school supplies, haircut, I mean, it's phenomenal. We have footage of some kiddos seeing the before and after, and it's just amazing, just that smile and the glow that they have, knowing that they're ready.
I think one of the things I want to ask you about is haircuts. You're going to laugh about this, but growing up, my father didn't have a lot of money, man. You know, so he used to cut our hair himself.
Right.
The bowl cuts and the trimmers until finally, my mom, you know, we used to cry, man. I mean, the guy had us, you know, butchered up.
Sure.
Of course, I say that with most affection. My dad was a tremendous man. I, you know, was lucky to have been raised by him and my mother. Right. But you know, I was gonna, you know, specific haircuts. And you just trimmed a certain way because you know, kids used to be back in the day, Kev, when you were younger. Kids used to like certain things, you know.
Sure.
So, what kind of a haircut do they get when they come in? And I'm just imagining the atmosphere. You know, I've worked with kids for many years,
right.
and big passion about what I do. And I'm kind of trying to. I'd love to go by. I know I can come by because you're my guy.
Indeed.
So, just tell us a little bit more about that. I'm kind of interested about the hair, hair itself.
That's a great question. And you know, the perception or the thing that people assume is that it's just a bald cut. We're going to do a quick fade and that's it. Some of these kids come out with some incredible haircuts with designs. I seen somebody did a Donald Duck one year in the back of somebody's head. Wow. So we have the best of the best in terms of barbers and beauticians, stylists that come out and they really go all out for some of these kids. We initially wanted just the fades and we said, you know what, let's open it up. We want these kids to go back to school comfortable. We want the coolest, newest hairstyles, whatever that may be. So we make sure that we solicit the best barbers and beauticians or stylists throughout our community to come out.
I think, you know what, Kevin, I think I've been really involved with our kid program at Manzano Mesa this summer because I got a new coordinator, so I kind of want things to make sure, you know, that everything's running the way I want it.
Sure.
And just being around the kids again has just gotten me so, I love kids, man. God, they make me laugh so dang hard.
Right.
And I think that, you know, by you saying that, the hair, they go to the school with the style, that's important. Backpacks and haircuts and the jeans. You know, when I went to Holy Ghost, we just had standard uniforms, so we just had to wear those.
Sure.
But I think, you know, the things that you're talking about as far as kids are concerned are real, because I see it every day that I'm at Manzano Mesa. I see it, and you know, I already see little, you know, kids getting to that puberty age, 12 and 13, and I'm always thinking to myself, man, you know, the voice is changing, the hormones kicking in.
Right.
I see it right away. I've been around it for 30 years. So when you talk about those things, you know, I just, it must be great for them to go to school with, you know, feeling good about themselves.
Indeed.
It really does. Self-esteem maybe helps in class. You know, you don't know what it helps.
You never know.
You
know, there's ample reasons as to why we do what we do, but the haircuts, indeed, that's one thing that it's always overlooked. It's always has been overlooked, not only from the self-esteem perspective, but just the pocketbooks, the money that it saves for mom and dad. We see a lot of the kiddos that come out that hadn't had a haircut in it may be months, it may be years. Also, we're able to style the little girls here as well.
There you see a pamphlet that you guys put out, so
yes,
there's the information.
Cuts for Kids, Sunday, August 7th at Expo, New Mexico. The time is 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I suggest that anybody that wants to attend get there early. The backpack school supplies are on a first-come, first-served basis. Any more information that you need in regards to the event, you can contact me. My information is on there, as well as visit the website, dreambigabq.org and cutsforkids.org. That's K-U-T-Z, the number 4, KIDZ.org.
Okay, I'm going to ask the question, Kevin. And Kevin Banks, the founder, CEO of Dream Big, our guest here on the Sports Desk. We've been talking about the haircuts, which I think is awesome. And yeah, I think it's a great thing that you guys do for kids.
Thank you.
One thing that isn't clear cut to me, at least, the first question I want to ask, what's in the school supplies?
School supplies, you know what? I don't know when the last time is that y'all seen a school supply list for school.
It's been a while. Yeah,
but
Scott still does.
I mean, the list is extremely long. The list is costly for mom and dad. So what we do is
that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, we break it down.
I've got kids, so I know how big the list is. So I want to hear about it.
We've been blessed with a lot of different organizations that donate school supplies, but you know, unfortunately, with the amount of kids that attend, we have to break that list down. So we have pretty much a very, very basic list for elementary school level, middle school level, and then high school level. We ask that people that are coming to expect a full list that's adhered to. That's not going to happen. We just don't have the resources to fulfill that entire list. So we try and get the basics. The backpacks aren't full backpacks, if you will. We actually have the slingshot strap type style backpack for the high schoolers, single shoulder strap, and we have the clear small backpacks for the elementary kids.
Wow. So obviously a lot of thought has gone into this.
Indeed. I mean, being year 6, we learned a lot along the way on what to do, what not to do, what to put in the backpacks, what kind of event to have, who to bring, so on and so forth. So it's definitely a huge undertaking.
Now, I'm going to kind of throw a wrench into things here.
All right.
And it might be a good wrench because I almost asked you this back during the school season. Why do you only have it at the beginning of the school year? Is it too cost effective not to have it like twice a year or something? Any plans on doing that?
The plan is to have it biannual, yes, because the school supplies last for only so long. It maybe last the first semester, and then the kiddos need to refresh their school supply list, as well as the haircuts. You know, haircut lasts a couple weeks, and then it's back to the barber shop.
Right.
So we have talked about bringing Cuts for Kids in the December, January timeframe. So we're definitely planning on doing that going forward. Yeah,
that would be good because I almost asked you because you and I were talking at the end of the basketball season, and I wanted to ask you, or I almost said, wow, you know, I can't really talk to you about Cuts for Kids until the fall. I want to talk about it right now. So.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely something we've continued to talk about, and you know, it is a supply and demand type thing in terms of supporting the program,
right?
Because it does exhaust some of our partners,
right?
Just with the one event, because we have so many people that attend.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something we're looking into.
What are the numbers in terms of people that come to this?
We have numbers upwards of 18,000 in attendance here
really?
at Expo, New Mexico.
Wow.
We're able to serve about 5,000 to 6,000 kiddos from our community and surrounding communities that come. We really bring in a lot of people from Los Lunas, Belen, Rio Rancho. So we're trying to expand out. And
18,000, that's incredible.
Indeed. So we've also branched out into Texas. So this is our 3rd year doing Cuts for Kids in Texas.
Oh, wow.
In Texas, working with Round Rock ISD, which is the equivalent to Albuquerque Public School System, along with the Partners in Education program. We were averaging about 4,000 or 5,000 people in total attendance in Round Rock, Texas.
Wow.
Now we're anticipating upwards of 30,000 people through Partners in Education and the Round Rock ISD system.
Well, that's also a system that has it went
Yeah, the
from
system is
nothing,
massive.
all of a sudden the town just blew up. I
Exactly.
mean, it's unbelievable.
Exactly.
I used to live in the Dallas metro area when Round Rock didn't exist practically, and now it's like one of the bigger cities.
It's exploding. The population is continuing to grow. There's 7 high schools in Round Rock now.
That's amazing.
We're hosting the event at Round Rock High School, which is a massive campus. The population of the campus is 4,400 students, so it's plenty of room to host Cuts for Kids with the amount of people that we're anticipating out there. But Albuquerque continues to grow, and hopefully we can expand out in the smaller towns and have the same program out there as well.
You know, one of the things, Kevin, when you mentioned the haircuts, we talked about that. But just getting a good start.
He wants a mohawk, by the way.
Yeah. At this point, I always tell, it really doesn't matter as long as my woman still loves me. Doesn't matter, right? No, as long as
There you go.
it doesn't matter.
Make her happy.
Doesn't
She's
matter,
on my
man.
happy.
Look, as long as she still loves me, that's
loves you.
yeah. Anyway, I think the important thing is, the haircuts. But the school supplies, it made me think about when I was back at Holy Ghost, my supply box. I still remember that. The glue, the pencils, the big Chief tablet, and those, Kev, we're going back, baby.
I'm with you. Big Chief.
But I think that, I think to get a good start on school, because let's face it, it amazes me, again, you're just a wonderful human being, you really are. But I know you're embarrassed by that stuff, but you're my guy, man. I'm always going to say that, you know that.
Yes.
But I think one of the things is getting that kind of start, because not everybody can, we can afford supplies. Scott is able to, but not everybody can do that.
No.
So to get a start like that and have the supplies ready, because then you fall behind if you don't have the scissors or whatever that you need, and for them to have that start, it's so important, man. And you feel good, right? Self-esteem, feel good about
It's also
yourself.
psychological, which goes into self-esteem.
Without question. It really is. I mean, how embarrassing is it to start that first day of school and you don't have supplies?
Yeah.
Or to come into school and you're wearing the same clothes that you wore last year, no haircut. It's embarrassing, and I can say that because I've been there. But to get some of these kiddos that otherwise had no option, to get them ready and to have that opportunity to come in and be somewhat well prepared, if you will, I mean, it's an amazing feeling, and hopefully these kiddos, they feel the same way. Their self-esteem is boosted, and they feel like they're ready. So that's our goal, and hopefully we're able to accomplish that each year.
When you put together Dream Big, what was the main idea about it, and how did you morph into what you're doing? Because I mean, there's a lot of different legs on this, and a lot of different arms on this, and it amazes me. Everything that you do is important in one way, shape, or other. Where did the idea come from?
So, my brother Alan and I, we were talking about this the other day. We were talking in front of our committee up in Texas. The thing that I always remembered is, I just talked about it now, it's myself getting ready for school. Single parent household until my stepfather came in the picture. We didn't have a lot. We were raised in the South Valley, grew up in East San Jose. We did not have much of anything. It was one of those things where getting a haircut was a premium. That was something like a gift. It was Christmas Day when you were able to get a haircut. So I take those emotions from back in the day and I apply them to today and where I'm at. So I'm in a position where I can make a difference. So I'm able to reach out to my partners and capitalize on those relationships and give back to the youth, because I was in their shoes. I used to wear the hand-me-down clothes and the oversized shoes and whatnot, and I remember that, and I remember being embarrassed, and that feeling that you have when, at the time when the Jordans were coming out, everybody has all the latest and greatest clothes, and you sit there and you look at yourself and you're wearing your brother's clothes that he wore 2 years ago. It's embarrassing, and today, if you want to talk about being bullied, those things happened back then. I was being bullied because, they making fun of those shoes that I had to buy from, Alan and I joke about it, Alan, my brother. We were shopping at Bag and Save from the little basket that had the shoes in there where you can buy for $5, that they had the little plastic string that connected the shoes. That's what we had to live with. And it's something we didn't know any better, but when you go to school and you're around your peers and they got the latest and greatest and you're sitting there with the hand-me-downs and whatnot, it puts you on a different level emotionally. And again, you talk about suicide and you talk about being bullying. Now today with social media, more than ever, somebody's taking that snapshot of you and throwing that out on social media. Look what Kevin's wearing today. Yeah. That's something that I truly have near and dear to my heart. So I want to make sure that we're at least helping with the basics. If they can have a haircut and look good for school, great. We've helped with that self-esteem. If we can team up with Locker 505 and they're giving these kiddos some fresh clothes, some new and the latest, greatest clothes, which they're an awesome organization, I love doing that. As long as we can prep our kids, get them ready so they don't have to deal with that nonsense, and that's what makes me happy, and that's what fuels my vision for Dream Big.
When I was in school, we could afford Converse. Ugh. I look back at those days and
Converse.
why did I wear those things?
Absolutely. But I mean, anything we can do to help out the youth nowadays, I'm all about it. We tend to complain a lot, but I don't see a lot of action. I know I will always give credit to Darvin Ham, who came and coached the NBL development team here that we had. Darvin has a program he calls Urban Youth and Development. And Darvin, being who Darvin is, playing at the NBA level and being successful, winning a championship with the Detroit Pistons, he came to our community and by way of a mutual friend reached out and said, hey Kev, how can you help me out with my basketball camps? The first thing I thought about with Darvin was how much you charge our kids. Basketball camps are great, they're wonderful, but at the same time they're expensive. Are you charging our kiddos to go to these camps? Darvin said, absolutely not. I'm getting the sponsors and these different organizations to help flip that bill. I just want the kids to come out and have this opportunity to not only learn about the game of basketball, but help them develop into great young men and women. So I took Darvin's philosophy and applied it to what I wanted to do and just continued to run with it.
Well, what you do is absolutely awesome.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm
Appreciate
proud to
that,
call
Scott.
you a friend, and
Thank you.
you know, it is great what you're doing for the community here. And obviously now I didn't realize that you were in the communities in Texas as well. So
Absolutely.
I mean that is outstanding. So keep up the great work,
Thank
my
you.
friend.
Will do. I appreciate it.
Kevin Banks, the founder CEO of Dream Big, our guest, and we will come back with more in a moment. But first, the Dave & Buster's Top 10 Plays of the Week.
J.R. Giddens threw it away. 6 turnover by New Mexico. All the way, Gibson, finger roll on the reverse layup. A little smooch out the window and good. And now Jonathan Gibson with 13. And a New Mexico. Granger to DeReese, beats the shot clock for 3. Wow. Got it! Twinen and down, and DeReese Gary. Inside, and Wendell McKillis with a jam. So what a 4 for the free throw line as Giddens, a little crossover reverse layup, pop the window and good. J.R. Giddens. Seconds to play. Giddens in the lane. Giddens wild. No, the putback. The big fella, Alex Kirk. Got a 2-on-1. To Giddens. Put it down. Back-to-back plays and then another steal. 3-on. DeVries, he's had the hot hand. No, put back.
Oh, wow.
Give me that, says Deshaun Delaney.
How many times has Deshaun done that?
Monster jam from DD. And there it is. That's why we waited.
Get into the game. Garden Schwartz Team Sales features fine products and apparel from Wilson, Schutz Sports, Speedline, and Russell Athletics. We offer custom embroidery and screen printing services for all of your school or club needs, from team uniforms to school letter jackets. Specializing in all sports and serving all communities, from big schools to small schools, from up north to down south, or all points in between, Garden Schwartz Team Sales has the products and professional services you'll need to be your best. For great prices, friendly staff, and quality products, call Garden Schwartz Team Sales today at 1-800-880-7767. That's 1-800-880-7767. Since 1939, Garden Schwartz Team Sales is a proud supporter of New Mexico youth athletics.
Don't sacrifice quality or flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride delivers the best tasting barbecue chicken and ribs with the fastest drive-thru in the whole city. Plus, Albuquerque Magazine has awarded Golden Pride for having the best tasting breakfast burrito in town. For a great meal without the wait, come see us at any one of our 4 locations or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride, home of Albuquerque's #1 breakfast burrito.
ProView Networks would like to thank Hi and Heather Roberts for their generous support of our mission to help raise the profile of New Mexico's youth and to serve the communities that support them. Hi and Heather Roberts are proud members of the American National Family of Companies and serve to provide life, health, auto, and home insurance to people like you.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's 2 guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's 2 dudes on the State Farm
Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose.
Okay, he's getting the hose.
All right, let's go.
Want to borrow better? Contact State Farm agents Marty Size and Michelle Bermudez about a car loan that can save you hundreds.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you.
We're never having kids.
I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs.
We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, talk to State Farm agent Michelle Rudolph or Marty Size in Albuquerque.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
And welcome back here to the Sports Desk. I'm Scott Galetti. Our thanks to Kevin Banks, founder and CEO of Dream Big. He's Ed Nunez, and the man that we're bringing in now, Steve Davis, the head of ProView Networks. And Steve, what a week it's been. It's kind of the beginning of the new season, if you will, as they had the big Superintendent's Cup golf tournament. Thanks to you, I got to play, but all of us got to play yesterday. You and Adam had a pretty good go-round. My team, we were 10 off the lead.
But a deceiving 10. You were 15 under, so and you lose by 10. So I guess the PGA came in on the afternoon tour, and we had the amateurs come in on the morning. But we were 16.
This is after Phil Casale said there would be no sandbagging, but you know how that stuff goes.
Well, they did like Stinson. They set a record. You know, it was
Right.
the best foursome. Best ball team in the nation. So.
But real quick, before we go to our preview segment, we're going to be previewing some schedules here, what to look forward to on the football season. But, it was amazing. You and I, Adam Deal, we had lunch yesterday. You after your round, me before the afternoon session, where we had some weather, by the way. In fact, the carts were saying seek shelter and come in, but everyone kept playing. Everyone finished their
you
round.
got a little rain. I forgot about that.
Oh, we got lightning. We got rain. I mean, in fact, the folks that I was with a couple of APS folks, and I told them if this was an APS football game, we'd be in a 30-minute delay right now, because it was close enough where I was kind of shaking a little bit, but we got high winds, we got rain, we got everything, but the turnout. Sold out. There were people left and right. I mean, it was an outstanding event.
You were the last person in. Just want to let you know. That's how. I mean, I'm serious. I'm not saying that.
I believe it.
Because
I believe it.
People were, trying to get in. But the morning. I think reflecting back, the morning it might be the best. It was sold out, but yours had a little bit of weather elements there, but. it moved very quickly. Okay, I mean, it was very well organized.
Even with the weather delay, it moved quickly. Everyone just kept doing what they were doing. Didn't care. It didn't slow down play at all.
I question that 25 minutes now of the weather conditions. Okay, I kind of question that. Okay, I'm not saying nothing. I don't have
Right.
to Phil. You know what? That's why I play in the morning, Phil, because most people can't get up that early to go play. So you know.
But in closing on that event, how would you sum up just the event, the cause, and everything?
Well, you know, they raised $500,000. I mean, for that, there's you know that's priceless, and for what they do with it, it's not, you know, it's the superintendent is for all the things that APS, all the activities, and also the school classes and the teachers, and they basically think outside the box, and they give some people creativity, and so if people have creativity, they find some ways to get them some money.
Absolutely. Well, let's look ahead now as we got some schedules lined up. Some were on max prep, so we had to improvise, and hopefully they're totally correct. We're going to go with the metro area teams in 6A first. We're going to go by district. We're going to start in this segment with District 1. We'll go in alphabetical order and start with Cibola. As it's that time of year, guys, where we get to look at schedules, and there you see they start off with La Cueva. On the road against Las Cruces, against Manzano, they play Carlsbad, Sandia, Albuquerque, and look at this. You got Piedra Vista in that district now.
Well, I'll tell you, Piedra Vista better bring their game because I tell you what, that's a tough district. Cibola, I think of Cibola, Ed, because he follows them very closely, is speed. I just always think of them as speed and big plays.
Absolutely. Your thoughts?
They've had some great, I still remember Chapman, the running back, a couple years ago. He was one of my favorite backs because, man, that guy bought some power. Larry Manley, the defensive back, played for him a couple years ago, ready to play for UNM now. But I've really enjoyed watching them. They upset Cleveland a couple years ago 2 years ago. So I've really enjoyed watching Cibola. They're a very good team. Coach Williams does a great job out there. So I can't believe we're already in. They've got La Cueva right off the bat. I can't believe we're already talking about football, man, and it's right around the corner.
Speaking of defending champion Cleveland, they are next. And let's get a load of the Cleveland Storm's schedule. There you see it. They start with Oñate on the road at the Field of Dreams. They face La Cueva. They face Las Cruces at Centennial.
Are
they in District 3 now? They're playing all the District 3 teams, it seems like. I mean, Artesia, that's a tough one. Then the big one, underline, Rio Rancho, they play earlier in the year this year. It's October 7th instead of the traditional last game of the season.
Well, look, if you look at that, at Centennial versus Las Cruces, at Oñate, at Artesia, hey, Coach, that's a tough schedule. So Coach Wright and I are definitely, especially the one at Artesia, following the one at Centennial. I'm not so sure that schedules go and coaches go. You got to play with who's on your, who's there.
Well, you know what? He had input on that schedule, so I'm telling you, don't count out right now. I mean,
no, not at all. No, I would never do that. But I'm just saying, boy, I'll tell you, you talk about a tough, you go into Centennial, and then, Coach Ocampo does a great job out there.
Right.
Then you got to go to Artesia the next week. You're right, Steve. Not at all would I count him out. That's a tough schedule,
you know what? We'll have Reiner on the show, and I'm sure he's what he's saying right now. We're a team, a work in progress, and they lost some key elements, but they tell you what, he does as good a job coaching, and his. If you've gone to his practices, it's amazing how every day they get stuff completely done.
Oh, yeah.
On a daily basis.
2 of their first 4 games at the Field of Dreams, a tough venue for visitors. So that's going to be a tough one. And we welcome in now to District 1, Piedra Vista. We'll look at their schedule since they're in District now. And the Panthers, Farmington, Goddard, Durango of Colorado, Aztec, West Mesa. And then they go at Manzano before getting into district play.
And Piedra Vista new in that district, and they're going to be playing a lot of games up in the Four Corners area. So we'll have to see how the Panthers perform.
So you think there's a home court advantage there? Is that what you're saying?
No, not at all. I mean,
I say it is because they have to drive up there. I mean, it's a 2-hour drive. I mean, it's in
more than it is coming
right
down here. Back to Cleveland, though, just real quick. 3 of their first 4 games are on the road, man.
Yeah.
God. So yeah.
And at the Field of Dreams on 2 of them. So I mean, that's scary.
One of the things you said, Steve, Coach Ridenour definitely had some input. Sure, he did. But after those 3 games, especially the one at Artesia, you're going to know what your team's made of. And later down the line, that's going to make them even stronger.
Well, what I'm saying, he's preparing his team for district play, and then that district's going to be, we haven't got to Rio Rancho, but I'm just saying, Siebel is going to make a run. They're going to be good.
Right on cue, Steve Davis. Rio Rancho is next, and we're going to look at them right now, and there they are. How about this? They start off against Mayfield. That's on the road. El Paso Americas, that's a team that they've gone back and forth with. Both teams winning on the other's home field, no less the last 2 years. Then they go at team you're very familiar with, Clovis, and then Oñate, Manzano, Sandia. I haven't seen a week schedule yet.
I tell you, these
are you know really what? Good non-district
you know what? Basically, it just shows you the confidence these coaches have in their team, and they want to play good teams because that's what they're going to be getting ready for when it comes down to the last 3 games of the year.
I mean,
little difference. Look at this October 7th. That's a little. I want the Rio Rancho.
Yeah, it's usually the last game of the year. And it's second game. Actually, it's the first game of district.
Right, so
it's the first game.
That's a change because it's usually something like you said at the end of the schedule, so it's a little bit different. But preparation for both teams, they still got 3 games to play after that. It's not the end of the season.
Yeah, I keep getting crossed up because the other 2 districts we're going to go over have 6 teams. This one has 5, and the final one on the list in District 1 and 6A is Volcano Vista, the Hawks, as they will have a very tough schedule as well. They play Valley, El Dorado, West Mesa, Mayfield at home, and Atrisco Heritage. They don't have to go out of the area to play. They're the only team from the Metro that we've looked at so far that doesn't have to travel down south.
Well, that's always a good thing. I mean, in Volcano Vista, this is a team that keeps knocking on the door every year, and this could be the year that they come out of their district.
Let's take a quick break, and we will come back with more as we look forward to the football season here on the Sports Desk.
Get into the game. Garden Schwartz Team Sales features fine products and apparel from Wilson, Schutt Sports, Speedline, and Russell Athletics. We offer custom embroidery and screen printing services for all of your school or club needs, from team uniforms to school letter jackets. Specializing in all sports and serving all communities, from big schools to small schools, from up north to down south, or all points in between, Garden Schwartz Team Sales has the products and professional services you'll need to be your best. For great prices, friendly staff, and quality products, call Garden Schwartz Team Sales today at 1-800-880-7767. That's 1-800-880-7767. Since 1939, Garden Schwartz Team Sales is a proud supporter of New Mexico youth athletics.
Don't sacrifice quality or flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride delivers the best tasting barbecue chicken and ribs with the fastest drive-thru in the whole city. Plus, Albuquerque Magazine has awarded Golden Pride for having the best tasting breakfast burrito in town. For a great meal without the wait, come see us at any one of our 4 locations or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride, home of Albuquerque's #1 breakfast burrito.
ProView Networks would like to thank Hy and Heather Roberts for their generous support of our mission to help raise the profile of New Mexico's youth and to serve the communities that support them. Hy and Heather Roberts are proud members of the American National Family of Companies and serve to provide life, health, auto, and home insurance to people like you.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's two guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's two dudes on the State Farm.
Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose.
Okay, he's getting the hose.
All right, let's go.
Want to borrow better? Contact State Farm agents Marty Size and Michelle Bermudez about a car loan that can save you hundreds.
I am never getting married.
Never.
Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, talk to State Farm agent Michelle Rudolph or Marty Size in Albuquerque.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
And welcome back here on the Sports Desk. I'm Scott Galetti along with Ed Nunez and Steve Davis. Alden, our fine director, is always doing a great job, and we are looking football schedules here. One thing I got to make sure as I'm looking at some of the teams that were switched around, how many districts there actually are, because I've got it listed as District 1, 2, and traditionally District 5. Are there 4 or 5 divisions now?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not real sure. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I didn't start thinking about that until the commercial break just now, because the first team in District 2 that we're going to talk about is one that's near and dear to Steve's heart, and that's Clovis.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, Clovis is
District 2, it doesn't sound right, but it's going to be cool because I think this is a great district for them to be in because it's going to be outstanding because those teams already play each other traditionally at one point or another in the past in non-district play. So now, you know, you put them in the same district against La Cueva, El Dorado. That's going to be fun.
Well, I think it's great for APS for those kids that get to go on the road and play at, you know, at Leon Williams Stadium and get in an environment that it's Friday night lights. That when they come into town, that place is sold out, and so the best performances are usually played at Leon Williams Stadium.
So let's take a look at the Clovis schedule right now as we will look ahead at District 2, and there you see it. They're playing at Hobbs, Carlsbad, Rio Rancho, Goddard, Cooper of Lubbock, Texas, a home game, and then they go into district play. El Dorado, Manzano, Santa Fe, which is now also in District 2, Sandia, and La Cueva.
Well, you know, Steve's absolutely right. They haven't had as much success up there in recent years, but Eric Roanhouse, again, I saw him at the New Mexico Hall of Fame being inducted. And, you know, just a fine gentleman. Gosh, great guy. Has been coaching there 25, 30 years. So you can never count the Wildcats out. And, you know, they've, again, a tough schedule there. And when I see, when I look at
Why don't you play 40-plus years?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
40-plus years in Clovis. So just a well-respected gentleman, really good guy. And when they inducted him in the New Mexico Hall of Fame, I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was Dale Fullerton. I think it was Steve that inducted him. Dale Fullerton, the former athletic director there. I don't know if he's still the athletic director at Clovis. But Coach Roanhouse was very humble in his acceptance speech and just a great guy. He used to referee high school basketball as well.
But what's interesting about the schedule, look who they start with. All their former district plays, Hobbs and Carlsbad. So those, my question is, will the intensity of those games be as great as they were before the change in districts?
That's a great question. And, you know, when you look at those two schools, Hobbs and Carlsbad, my answer, just my opinion, would be yes.
Well, yeah, because there's a guy named Bradley at Carlsbad. So and there's been some bad blood between Roanhouse and Bradley. Not bad blood, but great competition between the two. So I can answer my own question with that. But and Carlsbad's a team that's upcoming.
As I was looking for pictures for Clovis, you see the beautiful turf there, Steve.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
I mean, you gotta love. I mean, I saw some old pictures of like what the APS stadiums would look like, brown with
Right.
lines on it. And here you got the beautiful field turf. You know, all the schools have gone to it, and Clovis.
I just
no stranger to it.
I was surprised that it wasn't purple though.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Let's look at El Dorado's schedule now. As El Dorado, they start off at Wilson against Las Cruces, then Volcano Vista, Mayfield, Albuquerque, and Valley. So they get 2 teams from Las Cruces, both at home.
One of the things that I talked to one of the El Dorado parents about a week ago, Jace Jackson has graduated, kind of wanted to know, his son is going to be a receiver, the friend that I was talking to, wanted to know what their quarterback situation, and I can't remember the kid's name, came off the bench last year in that game that you did, Scott, that unbelievable game. I believe you got an award for it, you deserved it. But he's their new quarterback. I can't remember his name. Not a runner, but a pretty decent passer.
He's got a bullet for
got an arm.
He's got an arm, and the thing about his arm is his accuracy, I think, stunned a lot of people. Everybody in the stadium in Las Cruces in that game, and you were there too, Steve,
Right.
when they mounted the comeback. Everyone in that stadium thought, oh, the backup's in, you know, there's no way El Dorado's going to win this game. And lo and behold, this kid comes in, he's throwing darts, left and right, left and right. The accuracy, arguably, he was more accurate than Jace Jackson. Jace Jackson
The better runner.
had the legs, and he could get things going on the read option. But it was amazing to see him just throw bullets to where only his receivers can catch. Now, Cleveland did a good job of scouting him the next week. And, there's going to be a lot of people scouting him
Right.
on what he doesn't do well, but so he's not going to surprise people. But it was amazing what he did, and you were there in that game in Las Cruces. It was one of the more amazing comebacks that I've seen in person on the high school level.
Well, one thing is for sure, we know he can play under pressure. Well, I mean, he couldn't put him in that
He came into the game in pressure.
Right.
That's like the equivalent of a relief pitcher coming in with the bases loaded and a 3-0 count.
In the World Series.
In the World Series in a one-run game.
All the
3-0, nobody out, bases loaded, and this kid comes in with them down. All of a sudden, I think he threw 3 passes and they had a touchdown. And people from Las Cruces were like, "Who is this guy?" But El Dorado knew how good he was.
And I'm telling you, he converted some big third and fourth down plays.
Yeah, he converted 2 fourth-down plays. Yeah, absolutely. So El Dorado's going to be a team to watch. Another one I think is going to be a team to watch is La Cueva, because past couple of years they've been a little bit down. Last year they were better than they had been, but I mean, I still think they're going through an improvement process.
Well, Coach Back, this is a year. I mean, this year, next year,
you're right.
and he's and I always look at Yaffle. I mean, I always look at who wins the Yaffle, and Yaffle's been very successful in the older groups the last 2 years, and so they've got some players that can play, and they're going to fit into his system. So.
Ed, one of the things that's cool looking at these schedules, because when I was putting them together, I really didn't look at them, keenly, except for a couple of schools. The one thing that's really cool this year, there's a few of them, but what's the main school that we always had questions about because no one saw them play here in the metro area? They're on the list right there. Centennial.
Yeah.
It was like one of those teams
Right.
where, oh, how good Centennial? Well, no one's seen them. You have to go to Berlin to see them or something. No one's seen them. They're coming to the metro area against a lot of teams.
A couple of times.
Yeah.
And you know what? They've been a powerhouse. Coach Ocampo does a great job out there. It's going to be very, very interesting to see them and see them much closer up than we have the last couple of years. So,
how about La Cueva finishing off the season against Clovis? I bet you'll be at that game.
You think? I'll be if I'm not there. Ronald's full bulletin board. Where's I haven't missed one of his games.
Yeah, exactly. Let's look at Manzano now, as District 2 is going to be a good district to watch out for. And you look at the Monarchs, and they face off against Atrisco. They play Centennial at the Field of Dreams against Cibola, at Rio Rancho, and at home against Piedra Vista. And then they go into district play, and very interesting district now. The more that I look at this with Clovis and Santa Fe in that district.
Well, they lost quarterback Orlando Pettis, but they still have running back Jordan Birdo, I believe now is a junior.
And you know what?
So,
and all their team was juniors last year,
Yeah. Right.
and sophomores.
Yeah, the quarterback was one of the few seniors
Right.
they had, actually. So yeah,
that could be the team that's
well, you know what?
to be reckoned
Jordan
with.
Bird, every time he touches the ball, is a threat to go 80. Break it. He's got he's the fastest kid, I believe, in the state, 100-meter champion. So when they have him, and that's a threat, home run threat every time he touches the ball. I think Manzano, you have to keep an eye on the Monarchs.
let's look at the final team in District 2, switching over from District 1. And, actually, let's go to Sandia first. So we have two teams. I checked one ahead. Sandia Matadors, they're facing off against Rio Grande, Valley, Oñate at the Field of Dreams, Cibola, Rio Rancho, before getting into district play.
This is a run-heavy team. They run out of the pistol, empty. They really, that Jimmy Gallegos did a great job for them last year. So I really think that, again, it depends on how their ground game goes. As their ground game goes, that's how the Matadors go. So we'll see, Scott, we'll see.
Absolutely. So now let's take a look at the other team in this district, moving from District 1. That's Santa Fe. The final piece of the puzzle is Santa Fe. The Demons coming in. You look at their beautiful stadium, and they are facing off against St. Mike's, Capital, Taos, Goddard, Los Alamos. You would call that kind of a typical season that they normally would have, and then they go into district.
Well, look at all you mentioned that St. Mike's, Capital, Taos, all the northern teams that they're going to play the first 3 games of the year. And then they've got La Cueva, Clovis, Manzano, at El Dorado to end the season. That's going to be tough for the Demons. I'll tell you what, back in the day, before Capital was built, the Demons ruled Santa Fe. They really did. So I still remember, I really do. They had some good teams back then.
I don't know. That's a good thing for Santa Fe to move up into this district. I mean,
Well, I think it's better moving them to this district than in District 1 against Cleveland and Rio Rancho.
Well, I want to rehabilitate that because El Dorado, Manzano, La Cueva, and Sandia,
I agree.
and Clovis will probably be in the top 10.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you throw Clovis into the monkey wrench there. And what a scary district this is going to be because, just going by tradition, who do you pick as your top team in district? The more you say Clovis, I would have to put them at the top of the list.
I don't know.
You don't know what kind of going to have.
Well, anytime you go to Clovis, definitely there's a home field advantage.
Right.
Okay, so you can almost assure that Clovis is going to win all their home games in district play. I mean, I've got 40 years of stats to back that. Okay.
Right. And how about when the 5 teams that will face off against them, how about when it gets to basketball? How fun of a district is that going to be? Because a lot of those schools actually have gone down to Clovis to play the Wildcats in non-district play. Now they're doing it for real in district.
That's going to be a whole different look, and it's going to be very interesting and very entertaining, no doubt about it.
Well, back to basketball, I'll tell you, Clovis is in trouble. They lost some summer. They're not looking really good this summer, so I just wanted to say, don't expect the dominating Clovis teams. So.
Well, you never know. I'm not a big person on equating what happens in summer, but sometimes what happens in summer does carry over. So hopefully, for your Wildcats' sake, I guess it doesn't.
I hope so too. I mean, it's time that they get moving up, and it's fun to have that Clovis pride.
I think. Do we have enough time to take one more break, or are we in our final segment, Alden? As we go to our grand wizard in the booth here.
Get into the game. Garden Schwartz Team Sales features fine products and apparel from Wilson, Schutt Sports, Speedline, and Russell Athletics. We offer custom embroidery and screen printing services for all of your school or club needs, from team uniforms to school letter jackets. Specializing in all sports and serving all communities, from big schools to small schools, from up north to down south, or all points in between, Garden Schwartz Team Sales has the products and professional services you'll need to be your best. For great prices, friendly staff, staff and quality products, call Garden Schwartz Team Sales today at 1-800-880-7767. That's 1-800-880-7767. Since 1939, Garden Schwartz Team Sales is a proud supporter of New Mexico youth athletics.
Don't sacrifice quality or flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride delivers the best tasting barbecue chicken and ribs with the fastest drive-thru in the whole city. Plus, Albuquerque Magazine has awarded Golden Pride for having the best tasting breakfast burrito in town. For a great meal without the wait, come see us at any one of our 4 locations or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride, home of Albuquerque's #1 breakfast burrito.
ProView Networks would like to thank Hi and Heather Roberts for their generous support of our mission to help raise the profile of New Mexico's youth and to serve the communities that support them. Hi and Heather Roberts are proud members of the American National Family of Companies and serve to provide life, health, auto, and home insurance to people like you.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's 2 guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's 2 dudes on the State Farm
Borrow Better banking sign. Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose.
Okay, he's getting the hose.
All right, let's go.
Want to borrow better? Contact State Farm agents Marty Size and Michelle Bermudez about a car loan that can save you hundreds.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, talk to State Farm agent Michelle Rudolph or Marty Size in Albuquerque.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
And we're back here on the Sports Desk. Scott Galetti along with Ed Nunez and Steve Davis, Holden, our fine director. We're talking football schedules here as coming up here shortly, the beginning of the high school season, and we're going to talk, I guess, arguably District 5 in 6A. It might be District 4 in 6A for all I know, but you know, the District 5, it's the same teams basically. We'll take a look at Albuquerque first. The Bulldogs' schedule is going to be a tough one as usual. How tough can that be, beginning with Centennial?
Well, you know what, Curtis Flakes has really done a great job there at Albuquerque High. A couple years ago, they hadn't won a game in a long time. They won some games. I thought they had some really good players. But this is a point now, and I think Steve mentioned this last year, where people don't circle them on the calendar and say that's an automatic win. They know they got to prepare. But going to Centennial right off the bat, wow. You know, again, you know, diverse, well, that's at Milne, I'm sorry. Centennial's coming here. So still, you have to be prepared for Coach Ocampo and Albuquerque High right off the bat. That's going to be telling right there, I think.
The only thing I like about Albuquerque High's skill, they have a lot of home games. Last year they were on the road. They didn't play a lot of home games. This year they're at home a lot, and it's wide open for them. I mean, if you talk to Curtis Flakes, we'll have him on, and I guarantee he's going to say he's going to contend for the district this year.
Oh yeah.
Take a look at the Trisco Heritage's schedule as the Jaguars will face Monsanto, Oñate at Nicena Community, Del Norte, Volcano Vista, and Cleveland before getting into district. Your thoughts on them?
Well, I think of them as a team that's disciplined. You know, they do a great job. We have to beat them. They don't beat themselves, and it's amazing what kind of job he does with these young guys.
Another team that's moved districts, and that is Highland, moving from District 2 to this district, and the Hornets. They'll face off against your team, St. Pius, at first, and then they go against Belen, Valencia, La Cueva, Volcano Vista before getting into district.
Well, I'm actually a former Hornet, you know, but my kid went to St.
Well, you know
Pius,
that.
right? But I got to say this: Coach Washington has worked very hard there. But I got, Steve knows this too. Highland doesn't have the numbers that they used to have. They used to get the kids through the base. And listen, all due respect to Coach Bill Gentry, who's a Hall of Famer, legendary coach, would play coached at El Dorado as well. He had the talent when he was there at Highland. He'll be the first one to tell you that. And they don't have it as much anymore, but I think Coach Washington's working very, very hard.
But a great schedule for him to get some confidence.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying, Pius, the team lost a lot of players last year, and Belen and Valencia, so he might be able to get some wins and get some confidence early in the season.
Take a look now at Rio Grande, the Ravens. They will face off against Sandia, at Miyamura, at Belen, Los Lunas at home at Milne, I should say, and against El Norte at Milne before getting into district.
I'll tell you what, that program, the players, my heart goes out to them. I mean, and tradition. I mean, they're just going to have a tough season. But probably going to be there, and we're going to cover them.
Yeah, and they got kids that work hard, and that's and the coaching staff that works hard. So that's the good thing about them. Valley comes up next. Speaking of a good coaching staff, as they have a new head man. Doesn't have an office yet, I don't think, but good.
He doesn't have any facilities, and you know what? Judge is rethinking why he came back into the situation because I don't know what, and they may not have no funds to finish the buildings. Okay.
Well, other than that, he's got a good schedule, right?
Other than that, well, you know what? I know Ralph Judge Chavez very, very well. Like him a whole bunch.
He's a heck of a guy.
Wish him the best. Last year, Valley, I think you and I talked about this, Scott. We would text back and forth. How in the heck could they have not made? They had offensive firepower. They couldn't stop anybody. The defense was like a sieve.
Right.
So Coach Chavez, I'm sure, is working very hard on that. But I look forward. You know what? Just one of the great characters in high school football, Ralph Judge Chavez. Love the guy. Love him. Good guy.
The one thing about Judge is you're going to go interview.
And let's go to the next team,
that's
the
for sure.
final team on the list, and that's West Mesa. And West Mesa, Del Norte is on the list, along with St. Pius, both at Newsena Community, Volcano Vista, at La Cueva, Piedra Vista, and district play after that. And this is another team that had a lot of talent, just didn't have the talent as much on the defensive side as they did the offensive side.
They had the talent, but they couldn't finish.
Right.
And I think about their kicker. I think you did one of those games when he kicked a 54-yard field goal, in the rain.
In the rain.
Yeah, you know what? This is a team, like you mentioned, like Rio Grande. They work very hard. They have some good players. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you have it. We've gone over 3 districts. Lots to go over as we preview the upcoming season in football. Final minutes, Steve, probably final 40 seconds. Your final thoughts here on the show.
Well, Coaches Association next week. A lot of volleyball games on Monday night and Wednesday night football game, and then on Thursday it's basketball. That's my final thoughts.
Yeah, always an exciting week.
Going to be fun, no doubt about it.
And a barbecue too.
Exactly.
Well, for Steve Davis, Ed Nunez, I'm Scott Galetti. As always, want to thank Alden for doing a great job on our director front. And until next week, we will talk to you on the Sports Desk.